Hi crafty people, this is Ellen from EGI Designs and welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today I am shopping my stash and playing with an older set that I have. This is the Treasured Memories Project Kit from Altenew and it is so beautiful. This one includes a stamp set and it has a gorgeous floral on there, and then it also has many meaningful sentiments. And a lot of these would be great if you have to make a like a sympathy card or things like that. So this one is fondly remembered, deeply missed. May memories bring comfort. Be happy. I miss you dearly. Love you. Thanks for all the good times. Sending love and strength. Embrace the moment. Wishing you peace. And memories never fade away. So a lot of good sentiments on that. Along with this kit, there is also a die set, and that cuts out the floral cluster and the sentiments, all of those. And it also comes with an embossing folder. This one is gorgeous. Good for a background. And then it has a stencil set to color in the stamp set, and that's what we're going to be doing today. I am going to be using the Northern Shore colors for my floral cluster. These are from Altenew. There's Polar Bear, Icy Water, Winter Lake, and Arctic Mountain. And then for the greenery, I'm going to be using the Frosted Foliage collection, and that's the Silver Sage, Jade, Eucalyptus, and Forest Fern. And I'm planning on heat embossing the sentiment. I did pull out the Northern Shore enamel dots in case we need to do that. So that is my plan for today. So let me get this cleaned up and we'll get started. Okay, so getting into it, this stencil is actually very interesting because if you look on, I'll try to put this behind. If you look on the stamp set, it has areas A, B, C, and D. And each of the stencils is labeled in the corners. It has D1, A3, D3. But with the first letter, the A, it tells you it's corresponding to this quadrant of the floral. So you would do all this part and then you'd move on to the next one and then the next one. So I just want to make you aware of that. It's a little bit different than what we usually expect, which is to do the whole thing and then put a new layer on, do the whole thing like that. So and in this book it gives you ideas, but then it also shows you over here the layering guide in case you have any questions on that. So I'm going to fold this back on itself and we can keep it nearby if we need to. Today I'm going to be using my stamp wheel to do the stamping and the stenciling, because it will just, the stencils will stick right to this, because this is a sticky mat in there. I don't know if you've ever seen a stamp wheel before. It's a stamping platform, and this is sticky like a stamp, so your paper sticks to it and it won't slide around. For this one I just cut a piece of 6x6 accent opaque white paper. The stamp is very large, so I wanted to make sure I had enough room to get it all on there. So yeah, see how much real estate that takes up. Okay, so when you have a stamp wheel, this is the lid, and I apologize for the glare, but it lines up perfectly in these little notches, and it'll stick to the stamp, and then you lift it off, and then you flip it over. And this is a new stamp for me, so I'm just going to rub it to get the factory residue off. One helpful tip with the stamp wheel is if you put, a lot of people put those enamel, I don't know where they went, I cleaned them up, but you could put a sticker on here, just so you know what your orientation is. So for me, I just have a piece of tape so that I know this is at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to use the Altenew Jet Black to ink this up. And this layer doesn't need to be perfect because depending on how it comes out, I'm probably going to ink it again at the end, but we shall see. And then you just flip it and you line it up in the corners, and then you just press it on. Okay, and like if you wanted this to be perfect the first time, the best part about a stamping platform is you can always re-ink it because it's going down right in the same exact spot. A little spot here. And sometimes with a larger stamp, it's hard to get a perfect image without re-inking and all that. Not too shabby. So I'm actually going to leave this on here in case we do end up stamping again. I'm just looking for my stamp chamois. Alright, so I'm going to just set this aside because we don't need this right now. Alright, so now we need to move on to the stenciling. So I'm using blues and greens. So let me get out my blues and greens brushes. Okay, and I have the Gina K blending brushes, and I'm not sure what I used last, so you just take a paper towel roll, and you could just brush it off. It'll get the extra color off there. You don't really need to wash your brushes. You can just wipe them off. Alright. Let's see, we can learn together here. Let's figure out which way we are going. And the tough thing about stencils is always trying to figure out which way am I going and what's going on with this. But these aren't too bad to line up. So the stencil is actually stuck to this sticky mat in here, so that's great. I'm gonna see if I can find... I just want to be careful over here because I feel like I would go over the edge there a little bit. There, that's better. Okay. So we have these beautiful colors to choose from. Just trying to think of how I want to do the layering. I'm gonna get out to my mini brushes. These are the detail brushes from Gina K. And again, same thing. Can just brush them off. No big deal. I think I'm gonna try the polar bear first and just see how that goes for a base layer. It really might be too light, but yeah, I think so. I think it is too light. I'll go with the icy water. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit of detailing with the Winter Lake. Just a little bit of shading at the bottom there. Okay. Just gonna take my microfiber cloth and wipe that before I take it off. Oh, look how pretty that is. Alright, so then we're still on this one. So then now we need to just shift it and do this side for the rest of these petals. Okay, go with the icy water. Flying brushes. And then again using the Winter Lake. Just to add a little shading on there. third one for this is a lot of the detail. And that goes right along the bottom edge. This one doesn't have much to hold on to, so I'm just gonna tape that over there. Okay, so this one is going to be dark. I'm first gonna start with the Winter Lake and see if we can get that dark enough, but we might have to move to the Arctic mountain. Oh wow, that looks so pretty. Gives so much detail. Alright, so now you can see, how easy it is to go through these. What I'm going to do is I will speed this up so you don't have to watch me do all the stenciling. I might even put on some music, which is really exciting. And while you are hanging around watching the stenciling, I would really love it if you could take a second to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you, and it really helps out me and my channel to keep it growing and keep it moving forward, so I appreciate that. Alright, let's get to the stenciling. think we are all done and have all of the layers. Let me just clean up all of this stuff and we can move forward. Okay, I just wanted to show you how absolutely gorgeous this turned out. So I am going to restamp, so like we had talked about before. So I'm just going to use the jet black again. And it'll really freshen it up and make it pop. It's kind of crazy how much it does that. See? Look at that. It really comes to life. It's crazy. I'm just going to put this back on to protect my work. I wanted to show you a really easy way to clean stencils. So what I like to do is I take my microfiber cloth and I have alcohol in this repurposed bottle, and all you need to do is just spray your stencil and then wipe it off. See? Perfectly clean. And it's dry already, which is pretty awesome. And you just want to be gentle when you have like little, like the little teethy parts right there. So just watch out for that. And I love doing it this way because then you don't have to wait for your stencils to dry or any of that stuff. You can just wipe them up and put them right back in the package. And they are good to go. See? Okay, let's take this out. Okay, so we need to cut this out, but I also want to get our sentiment ready. And I'm trying to figure out, do we want to do this as a sympathy card? And I love this one, the Sending Love and Strength. So we can actually use this again. Trying to find my water spray. Get that cleaned up. And I'm going to be brave. I'm going to heat emboss on black paper with white, which I don't usually do because white can kind of be a little messy. But I'm being brave today. So we shall see how it goes. This is the Hero Arts Pitch Black cardstock. I'm going to cut this down a little bit. I don't know how big of a piece. Alright, so I've heard that when you're doing heat embossing with white, it's best to actually use white pigment ink, because then if you miss a spot, then it blends right in. So we will give that a shot. Okay, and I have the Concord and Ninth white. We need our anti-static, and I have the alabaster white from Brutus Monroe. So hopefully this will be successful. Alright, so you powder the cardstock, and that'll take off any static, any oils from your hands, things like that. Okay, let's give this a shot. And because this is a pigment ink, it will stay wet longer, so you can just use the embossing powder right on it. Okay, I'm gonna give that another shot. I feel like it might get goopy, but we shall see. And if not, we can always try it with just the regular embossing ink. I think it's goopy, I don't know. We can give it a shot. I guess as long as it sticks. And that looks like it's stuck. So we will heat it and see what happens there. So then you just funnel the powder back into the pot. And I'm going to grab my heat tool. I'm just going to let it heat up for a moment before I put it to the paper. You can see in there that it's getting very hot. This may have been a successful experiment. As you can see, but it's all melted and shiny. Just gonna let that cool just for a second. The paper's still warm. Alright, while we are waiting, we can get out the dies, if I can find them. I think this is cool to the touch now. So I'm actually going to use my microfiber cloth. And you just go over it and you can get rid of the anti-static powder that's on there. The paper is a little warpy from the heat embossing, but hopefully we have that. Alright, I'm gonna go cut these out and I will be right back. When I was cutting these out, I went ahead and I cut the, I did the embossing folder in the background here. So this is the layout that I want to go with. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this over. And I'm going to use a pencil okay, so this will allow me to know where I want to put my foam tape, and also where I need to cut this. Look at how gorgeous this embossing folder is. Just beautiful. Alright, so I'm not very good cutting things straight with scissors, so I'm going to use my guillotine trimmer here. We can even put this over here if we're feeling fancy. Alright, so I'm going to put on I have Big Mama foam tape. And I'm going to put that on the back here. And I'll speed this up too so you don't have to watch paint dry. Okay, and I thought too that we could pop up the back as well. And I thought we could make the card base out of one of the matching colors. So we have the Winter Lake and the Arctic Mountain. So I'm just trying to see which I like a little bit better here. I think the Arctic Mountain. And this is just going to be a typical A2. And this is my Spellbinder's trimmer, and it has the scoring blade, scoring tool right on there. So this is a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet. So you put it in and you cut it at 5.5. And then turn it and score at 4.25. And then I like to use this ledge to match up the sides, and then use bone folder to burnish that score line. And I like using a Teflon bone folder because it doesn't leave any shiny marks on your cardstock, and especially with this being a dark cardstock, you would definitely see that. Okay, so this is how this is coming together. I'm going to put this on the back first so then I can trim up any overhang. What am I doing? Alright. So I like to use a vinyl weeding tool to take the backs off of my foam tape, or like foam squares or things like that. Alright. I'm gonna use my Score Buddy thing to help me out here. Trying to see which way I want my embossing folder to go. I kind of like it with the tulip over there. I'm like, I'm going not the way that I had wanted. That was kind of silly. Okay. I tried. Like cutting in a straight line is no good for me. But anyway. Alright, much better. Okay, so we're gonna have to offset this a little bit because half of it is up and half of it is down. So this side would need no foam tape or anything, and then this side would, so that everything is even on the front. So what I like to do is I just kind of flip it so I can see exactly where we need to apply the foam tape. In this case, I'm going to use my foam squares. I'll have to see if the large ones are too big for over here, but I think it's okay. This teensy weensy piece will fit. Okay, and then you just check from the front, see if there's any sticking over the edges, and we look okay here. But on this side we want it to be secure, so you do want to put glue. I'm just going to use my reverse tweezers to help me out with this. more straight. I'm just gonna put a block on that. This is gonna look so pretty. All right. Okay. Do this little back rub. Let's see. It's always hard to decide where you want to put them. All right, and there is our finished card. And stay tuned if you'd like to see how I decorated the inside of the card. Okay, so I'm just planning out the inside, and the first thing that I did was I glued on the inside the extra piece that we had cut off from the front. So I thought that would be a nice way to carry that into the inside of the card. So then I have a stamp. This is the Wishing You piece. I'm going to put that on with the Arctic Mountain. Oh, that looks so pretty. Okay. Just gonna put that on there. I'll clean this in a minute. So anyway, I just wanted to go over what we have. So we had used the large stamp here. Sorry, I'm just trying to make it easier to see. We used the large stamp, and then we used the Sending Love and Strength as the one on the front, and we heat embossed that. And then we used the Wishing You piece and put that on the inside with the piece of the stamped image that we had cut off. And we used the Northern Shore enamel dots because that matched the colors in here. And we had used to do our stenciling the Northern Shore inks. And we used the Frosted Foliage. And I used, for the background, the Arctic Mountain matching cardstock. So what I will do is I will write out my message to the recipient, and then I will put this on the inside with my tape runner. And so that is our beautiful and fairly easy card for the day. It's just that doing the stenciling takes a long time, but it's very easy, and it's easy to line up. And we have our gorgeous embossing folder for the background for that. Anyway, join me over on Facebook where I post cards, videos, and any crafty sales I come across. I will list all the products I used in the description box below, and I have affiliate links, which means if you click on my link and end up making a purchase, I may make a small commission at absolutely no charge to you, and that really helps out my channel, and I greatly appreciate you shopping through my links. Like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and until next time, take care.